Welcome back here to the Hill on NewsNation. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today announcing a ceasefire deal that will start in about 3 hours' time. The deal will end the fighting with Hezbollah in Lebanon and Israel nearly 14 months after the October 7th attacks. In an address in the Rose Garden here in Washington today, President Biden gave more details on the plan.
In the next 60 days, the Lebanese army and state security forces will deploy and take control of their own territory once again. Hezbollah terrorist infrastructure in southern Lebanon will not be allowed to be rebuilt. And over the next 60 days, Israel will gradually withdraw its remaining forces.
Back here at home, we could be getting a better look at what the Pentagon might look like in the next administration. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that President-elect Trump is eyeing two candidates for the #2 job at the Department of Defense, and they both come from the world of finance. Joining me now, the top Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee, the congressman from the state of Washington, Adam Smith. Congressman, thanks for being back with us here on the Hill once again. Always appreciate talking to you.
Well, thanks for the chance. I appreciate it.
Of course. So this ceasefire deal between Israel and Lebanon, why do you think it came about now? And what does it still say about the barbarity of Hamas?
Well, I think, well, first of all, this is focused on Hezbollah, and I think it came about primarily because of how weakened Hezbollah has become and how the people in Lebanon realize that Hezbollah is not in their best interests. And Israel felt like they got what they've been looking for, frankly, since October 8th, when Hezbollah started attacking them. You know, they wanted a 10-mile buffer, and they wanted Hezbollah to not have the weapons aimed at them. I think this agreement puts them in a position to get those things, and it's a real opportunity for Lebanon to choose a different course, to move away from Hezbollah and get back to governing their country. So I hope that there will be international support, as has been said, for the Lebanese people to rebuild and pursue that alternative.
Right, and then obviously there's still the hostages, American hostages being held by Hamas, a deal with Hezbollah right now. Are you any more optimistic tonight that a deal with Hamas can come about?
Slightly, but not much. I mean, the Hezbollah situation was always significantly different than Hamas. But look, it shows that there has been movement. It shows in part that Israel's efforts to weaken Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran has put us in a better position, put them in a better position to negotiate a deal. I mean, the problem with Hamas is, what's the alternative? Lebanon at least has Lebanese armed forces. There are some alternatives. I would really urge Israel to work with Saudi Arabia and Jordan and others to create an alternative to Hamas, and also a legitimate Palestinian partner in the West Bank as well.
Let me read you a couple reactions here from your colleagues, both sides, or both two different chambers. Lindsey Graham earlier today saying, quote, he said, "Well done to all those involved in reaching this agreement. I appreciate the hard work of the Biden administration, supported by President Trump, to make this ceasefire a reality." And then Michael Waltz, who's the incoming national security advisor for the president-elect, says, "Everyone is coming to the table because of President Trump. His resounding victory sent a clear message to the rest of the world that chaos won't be tolerated." What would you say to the two of them? Two different forms, but both of them mentioning President Trump. And do you think his presence as president-elect led to any of this today?
It's hard to say. I mean, I don't think so. Like I said, I think what really led to it was Israel's, strong effort to weaken Hezbollah to the point where they just weren't strong enough to resist this, and that Lebanon saw a path forward other than with Hezbollah. So, it's hard to say what people's perceptions of something that hasn't yet happened, and that would be Trump, getting into the White House, had an effect on it. It would not be my focus. Now, President Trump's going to be in there January 20th, and let's hope he continues to move forward with peace in the Middle East and elsewhere. But, speculating on what impact that had, I don't think is the most important part of this right now.
So as I mentioned for our viewers here, thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.